Welcome into college football week 0. We are finally here. Don't even ask me if there's MLB games today. I don't give a flying F at all. We have college football. We have 4 games today. The biggest game, ironically, is the early game. That usually never happens, but we do have a 10th ranked Florida State against a conference foe in Georgia Tech in an ACC showdown in Dublin, Ireland. That's kicking off at noon Eastern time. And again, that is the big boy game of the day. 3 other games, again, not very entertaining, but I will be betting on them if I have money to bet. And that is Montana State at New Mexico. We have SMU at Nevada, and then we have the nightcap Delaware State at Hawaii. Ethan, how are you? How are you, brother? Can't believe we're here again. We're not solely or quite here completely, but this is close enough. So, how are you, bud? And how you feeling about today's slate?
Yeah, I'm just pumped. College football is back. It's always a little bit of a tease, just having a couple of games here um, before we really get into a full slate. But yeah, that Florida State Georgia Tech game, obviously the most exciting of the slate here. I think I have a play in that game. I've not locked anything in. Um, a couple of smaller games after that one, but it's still meaningful college football. I'm pretty much over the meaningless NFL preseason at this point. So, yeah, just ready to have football back in full swing here.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe we're back. And again, I'm going to say it quite a bit on the stream here, but it just feels so good. I can't stand baseball anymore, and I've had a bad week betting, so I'm happy for it to be back. So yeah, I guess the whole purpose of this, there it is, a little late on the Twitter notification there. Let me get that retweet out. But yeah, basically the purpose of this live is for me and Ethan to kind of ease ourselves into the board, pick each other's minds, talk about bets with you guys. If you guys do have questions, please let us know, and we'll be happy to give you guys our best analysis of what's going to happen. So. Yeah, I guess let's just slowly dive into to the game coming up in 2 hours here. Again, the biggest game of the day, Florida State versus Georgia Tech in Dublin, Ireland. I am seeing currently Georgia Tech or Florida State is a 10.5 point favorite. The over under sitting at 55.5. I know this game has had quite a bit of line movement. We had, I think, Florida State opened at a 13-point favorite. And now it's down to a 10.5 point favorite in favor of Florida State, even with all the money from all the bets from what I'm seeing coming in on Florida State. So I have 2 bets in this game already placed. I'm going to send it to you first. I think we're in agreement for what side is right. I don't know if you're going to place the bet, but what are you thinking in this game?
Yeah, Georgia Tech's got to be the side. But I thought it'd be more of a unanimous decision on Florida State. I am seeing most of the bets are coming in on Florida State, money on Georgia Tech. I've just seen a lot of people kind of on Georgia Tech as well. So I don't feel like it's quite as public to take Florida State as what maybe I thought it would be or what it was earlier in the week. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think around 10 and a half, I'd be a little bit nervous to lay or take the points with Georgia Tech. Um, yeah, it's definitely my strongest lean. It's the play I'm going to make today if I do end up making a play. Um, but honestly, I might end up just watching this one live, trying to get in with a live bet. Florida State goes up early, come back in and get a closer to maybe that 13 and a half where this line was earlier in the week. Or if you could get, above 2 touchdowns, I mean, I love that. But yeah, I don't know. Something's it's a little bit fishy.
Yeah, this kind of to me just feels like a game where there's obviously a sharp side, but I think the sharp side has gotten way too overbet. Again, 13-point favorite, and there's a lot of line movement. From whenever this line opened, and it could have opened, months ago to now at 10.5. But the last week, it was right around 12.5, and now it's plummeted to 10.5. So you usually see some line movement with um, preseason spreads, and then but when it gets closer to game time moves. But it seems like it's moving a lot. It just seems like a lot of people are jumping on to the sharp side. I have a bad feeling it's going to be a game where it's going to be right around a 10, 13 point game. It's not going to be a Georgia Tech is, a touchdown away from, tying it up, or, they could win it on this. I don't think we're ever going to have that situation in this game. I think Florida State is going to be, during the duration of this game, a 7 to a 10 point, they're going to be up 7 to 10 points throughout the game. So I think it's going to be a sweat. I did lock in Georgia Tech at 11.5. I saw the line was moving. I tried to get on 12.5, and it moved right when I was doing it to 11.5. So very unlucky on the timing there, but I am locked in on the Georgia Tech at the 11.5. I can't get in on Florida State. So if you do like Florida State, I would probably suggest doing Ethan's route and just watching the game. If you do want to get involved live on either side, maybe that's the move. But I can't recommend Florida State just because of how public it is, and I do think it's the wrong betting side. But again, it seems like that sharp side in Georgia Tech is a little over bet. I know you're a big fan of travel and neutral fields, and especially overseas travel, foreign land. Do you have any play on the total here? I'm seeing 55.5. Not really. I do have a play on this, but I mean, Florida State's a defensive team, new quarterback. So offense might be a little rusty, taking a little bit of time to get used to the swing of things, and first game of the season, and on grass field, and in Dublin, Ireland, and on a 5-hour time change, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I took the under, and I'm surprised you didn't. It seems like a play you would have taken, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's definitely my lean. I mean, week one of any sport, I feel like the under is just the look. A ton of new faces trying to blend together. I think coaches start off with a pretty conservative game plan, trying to not be the first team to make a mistake and give the other team the momentum. My lean is certainly the under in this one. Feels a little bit high. I might end up getting there. Yeah, it's
so here's I just don't know what, like, it seems like this game should be set at like 48 max, in my opinion. When has Florida State ever been in the 50s? I don't think they ever were last year.
Right.
And they're playing, it's not like they're playing I mean, Georgia Tech's not great, but it's a conference team. I don't know. Like, I in order for this score to get to 56 points, I mean, that means what, like a 31 to 24 game? Is that like what Vegas is expecting this? Like something around those? And if that happens, I guess the cover of Georgia Tech, I can't see Florida State winning 42 to 17 or whatever would hit the over. So I have like the score of 34 to 20, 21 kind of stuck in my head for this game. And I guess that would be right at the 55. I don't know. I'm just having a hard time seeing this game to the high 50s.
Yeah. I'm having flashbacks. So last year, the big game of week 0 was Notre Dame Navy, I believe. I had the under in that game. I ended up cashing. I believe that was 48.5. I believe it was like 42 to 3. I think Notre Dame won that game. But it was a little sweaty there at the end. I do remember that. I ended up cashing, but I don't know. I just feel like the total is going to be. I just feel like it's going to be right there. It could go either way. I would certainly lean the under, but yeah, I need to look into it a little bit more, maybe. But yeah, I'm certainly not going over here.
Either way, I don't feel great about this game. And again, it is the game I have the 2 bets in. I think it's going to be very sweaty in regards to betting. I think it's going to be. I think Vegas did a damn good job at this line. So yeah, I am on ESPN. Looks like there are a couple additional games that I did not mention. I believe these are probably double A from my understanding, or yeah, FCS. We have McNeese State and Tarleton State. That's actually on ESPN2, which is kind of crazy. North Alabama and Southeast Missouri, which is on ESPN at 7. And then Florida A&M, Norfolk State, which is on ABC. So there are 3 other televised games that I forgot to mention, and honestly, I didn't even know. But I believe all 3 of these teams, or all 3 of these games, are FCS. I know Florida A&M is. I know. I don't know. I don't know about McNeese or Northern Alabama, but I know Florida A&M is FCS. But I'm probably not going to get involved in those games. But there are 3 additional games on cable. In case you are wondering, I don't have bets in that. Probably won't, unless someone twists my arm. But yeah, you just want to move on to, unless you have something in these games.
I don't. Last thing I need to say about Florida State. So 2 years ago, week 0, I believe Florida State and LSU played week 0 2 years ago, or it could have been
week 1. Yeah,
but it was the Labor Day, like Sunday game or whatever. I was in Vegas. I was pretty inept at the pool. Threw some money on LSU, lost. Last year, week 1, LSU, Florida State. I'm like, all right, revenge time. LSU, lost. So playing Florida State against Florida State for a 3rd year in a row here, I'm having some bad flashbacks. But some might say I'm due. So I don't know. Do with that what you will. I don't know where I was even going with that, but yeah, my track record fading Florida State in their first game of the year is not good.
Yeah, but have you ever faded Florida State off an undefeated season before?
Nope.
I think that's going to be the game changer.
I only faded them against LSU, so
yeah,
out of conference foe.
Right. And I don't know. I just have a hard. It's Georgia freaking Tech. Like it's not Clemson. It's not even the ACC is so bad, but it's not even NC State or North Carolina. It's freaking Georgia Tech. And I know Georgia Tech has a solid little quarterback. I think his last name is King. I think he played last year, but he used to transfer from A&M. I think he's solid, but again, it's Georgia Tech. They ran the triple option for 400 years, and now we're trying to run spread. Okay, yeah. Follow us on Twitter. I haven't even posted my official plays on Twitter yet. Our Twitter handles are right below our names here. Also, please like and subscribe on the channel. We're at 753. So we did meet our tier B goal before the NFL season, which was to get 750 subs on YouTube. Still would love to get 1,000. We're running a little bit out of time, but it's never too late for a preseason burst of subs. So please like and subscribe if you guys are watching on whatever platform. I know where these subs are on YouTube, but it helps Twitter, Twitch, all the stuff we're streaming on. So we appreciate you guys, and again, very excited for football. I'm going to go to the actual FBS game, and that is Montana State, New Mexico. This is on Fox Sports 1 at 4 p.m. Eastern time. I am seeing Montana State is a 13.5-point favorite. Over under in this game is 54.5. To be honest, have not looked at this one since all my units are locked up in that Florida State game. Hopefully one wins and I can place a wager on this game. But I am seeing the public's pretty heavy on the Montana State. I believe they're the Wildcats or something like that. Do you have any read on this game?
Yeah. Well, from what I'm seeing, it's pretty 50-50. I am seeing slightly more bets on New Mexico and more money on Montana State. And I agree with it. Honestly, my only real read here is Montana State is FCS against New Mexico, FBS, and they're a 2-touchdown favorite. So I think that's just pretty telling as is. I don't follow FCS much, but I do think Montana State has been one of the better teams over the last few years. I feel like it's a team that I hear about more often than some of the others. And New Mexico has been one of the worst teams in the FBS. So I don't know. It's a tough game because competition is different throughout the season. But yeah, I don't know. I think I would lean Montana State here. Um, but it's just tough to say. It's FCS guys against FBS guys, so I don't know. I think I would side with the Sharps here. Montana State, small lean. Um, we'll see how that first game goes. See if I get involved. Again, you already mentioned it. Give us a follow on Twitter. We'll tweet out some official plays, but yeah, I would not touch New Mexico.
Yeah, I do know Montana State is kind of a powerhouse in that the divisions. Them, it's North Dakota State. I think South Dakota's in there as well. Wyoming's always pretty solid. So I do think they are kind of a perennial powerhouse in that division. Just looking at their schedule, they play a team I played in college. Looks like they jumped up a division, and they fucking suck. So don't really know how that team jumped up a division and whatever. Yeah, I want to take Montana State. I'm seeing that they opened at like a 4-point dog and now we're up to a 13-point dog. Again, I don't really trust that movement. That's just probably a line that came out months and months ago. Yeah, I think Montana State's honestly going to get it done. Are they going to get it done by 2 touchdowns? That's the risk you're going to take. But I do like the thought process of a FCS school being a 2-touchdown favorite against an FBS school. It's probably for a good reason. But yeah, I would have to dive into this one a little bit more before I would place a bet on it. And again, I don't even know if I'll be able to with my money locked up in the early game. So stay tuned for that one. I got nothing for you. Again, I think we both lean the Montana State, but I am not well educated in those 2 teams. Moving on, 8 p.m. SMU, Nevada at Nevada. SMU is a 27-point favorite. Over under in this game, 55.5. SMU, we talked about in our, I have yet to post it, but they're Big 12 now? Are they Big 12?
Yeah.
Again, we have no idea what these conference realignments, but we talked about them. I was kind of high on them in the Big 12, if that is their freaking conference.
ACC.
They are?
ACC.
ACC. Okay, SMU, ACC. While I was high on them in whatever conference they were in, just because their odds were pretty high for a lower end. They weren't an original Power 5 school, so I was a little surprised by that. I know they have a very solid quarterback. I know Nevada is going to be dog water. I don't know. I don't think I can lay 27. It's not a great football number. I kind of want to watch this game just to see if SMU is the real deal. So if I'm going to be tuned in intently, I would like to have a bet. But as of right now, nothing. I kind of would probably have a play on the total. And I honestly might lean the under. Yeah, I'm looking at betting splits. It looks like everything's very cut and dry, and bets and money looks pretty equal across the board. I don't know. I like SMU quite a bit. I think they're going to win easily in this game. I hate the number of 27. You don't often see that spread. I did think they were at one point 24-point favorites, and I guess they jumped up. You got anything? You got anything you like in this game? I like SMU. I think they're going to whomp them. I just don't love the spread of 27.
I think I like the over.
Okay.
I don't know why. SMU is just screams over to me. I'm so used to them just playing those Thursday night games, split screening with the Thursday night NFL game. Just watching SMU and Tulane put up 85 points. While the Thursday night game is the Bears Cardinals 13-9. Boring ass game. Yeah, I don't know. I think SMU will want to make some noise in their first ACC game of the season. Obviously, not against a conference foe, but their first game as part of the ACC. I can't lay the 27. I would actually probably lean Nevada plus the 27. Yeah, I think this could be a high-scoring game. Don't hate SMU's team total over. I think it's right around 40, maybe a little bit more, 41, 42. Yeah. Again, I'm kind of just going game by game here. Week 0 is always tough. It's always tough. I feel like live betting is the way to go week 0. But yeah, I lean the over in that one. And if you are live betting, DraftKings does have a boost for a live bet. My maximum is pretty small. It's only a half unit for me, but I'll still be trying to take that.
Yeah. The quarterback for SMU's his name's Stone. I'm not P Stone. I'm not sure what his first name is. I'm gonna guess Parker. That sounds right. Um, yeah, everyone's talking a lot about him. So, I mean, I would like a total in this game better than a spread. Um, I could get behind the over. Just on first glance, I thought the under might be a little bit of a play just because it might be a little obvious to take an SMU over. But yeah, I think SMU has high hopes this season. We see Vegas has their odds, like I said, pretty high in that ACC. Their win total as well as their odds just to win the ACC outright, which is kind of a far shot, but they're like the 7th best favorite in a Power 5 conference in their first year in that conference. So a little surprising for me. I think they have the same odds as Virginia Tech. So put that into perspective there. Yeah, I think SMU's pumped. I think they're excited. I think they're have a lot of hope and optimism. So I think they do come out strong. Don't hate the over. Just nothing like winning game 1 of the season against a terrible opponent on the road and just waxing them. So I could see them not letting up. So yeah, I could get involved on the over. That's at 8 p.m. tonight on CBS Sports Network. Moving on to the nightcap. If I've lost all my money at this point, I will 100% deposit money to bet this game just to say that I bet this game. And this is technically Sunday morning. I believe the kickoff, they usually put the kickoff at 11:59 to show that it is on Saturday, but they said F that. And the kickoff is at midnight. So it's technically a Sunday game, 8:25. This is between Delaware State and Hawaii. On a sports network that all you guys have on your cable package, Spectrum Sports. Delaware State, big story about them, missed their flight. I believe they have taken various commercial flights to get their players to Hawaii. I believe everyone's there. Couldn't just made that up. No freaking idea if they're all there. But yeah, Delaware State went 1-11 last year. Hawaii went 5-8. I believe that was their first year with Hawaii's new coach. And the year prior, I think Hawaii was a 1 or 2 win team. So they made strides forward, and now they play a Delaware State team that was miserable last year, who had flight problems, and Hawaii is a 40-point favorite in this game. I know we talked about this briefly. I know I made a video on my personal page, Worst Bets, briefly about this. It's got to be Delaware State, right? 40 points?
Gotta be.
It's Hawaii.
It's Hawaii.
I don't care if they missed their travel. I don't care that they went 1-11 last year. It's Hawaii. They're not winning. They can't score 40 points.
I'm not laying 40 with Hawaii against your Hillsdale. What are they? The Chargers? Yeah. I'm not laying 40 with Hawaii over any collegiate football team probably ever. So it's got to be Delaware State.
Yeah, and again, midnight tonight. So if everything's in piss, just triple, quadruple, 5 times down, Delaware State at the plus 40. If you got anything from this live, that's what I wanted you to. That's what we wanted you to hear. And again, to be completely serious, Hawaii is a better team. They are not the laughing stock. I believe they still lost to Vandy last year, so maybe a little bit, but they gotten better, and they like their coach. I like their coach. I say this because I know Michigan played them 2 years ago and absolutely killed them, and their coach got fired shortly after. Did watch a little bit. My honeymoon was in Hawaii last year, so I watched 2 Hawaii games because it was the only game on at 3 p.m. on a Saturday because college football starts at 6 a.m. there. So I watched a little bit again. They look like a better team. They look competent. They look like they actually know what they're doing. I know they lost a ton of guys to the transfer portal, and I know they gained a ton of guys. So a completely new shaped Hawaii team. And I do think they have motivation around their coach and around their program. So it is a better Hawaii team, but they're not a 40-point spread team, even if it is against Delaware State, who again, no idea what conference they're in. Their one win last year, Delaware State, was against Virginia University. Virginia University. Wow, Virginia University Lynchburg, who are the like Imagine Dragons, or that's their mascot. I'm not kidding. It's some sort of adjective and then dragons. Who again, I don't even think that might be a D3 school for all we know. So not a good program, Delaware State, but yeah, 40 points, like you said, they could be playing a D2 school, they could be playing a high school team. I would not take Hawaii to win by 40 points. So I haven't locked it in yet, but I will be placing a bet on Delaware State, and I don't even know what their mascot is. Looks like a bee or something. Maybe a yellow jacket. But yeah, that's the slate. Do you have, I guess, the two or the three other games I haven't even looked at? Let me look at them real quick. Tarleton State, which used to be D2, is now against McNeese State on ESPN2 at 3:30. Tarleton State is a 17-point favorite. Over under is 60 in this game. Again, I didn't even know this game existed until this live, so my analysis of this game is probably not going to be great. But I mean, Tarleton State's a wagon. I don't know how many games they lost last year, but I believe they won a majority. They are an absolute wagon. McNeese State sucks. I would lean blindly Tarleton State at the 17. I love 17. It's a football number. Wish you get the 16.5, but love Tarleton State in this game. Again, I didn't even know it existed until now, but they are a walking bucket from what I can remember in Division II and what I can remember last season. You got any blind guess on that game?
No. All I'll say is these teams play again September 14. So
really,
yeah. Nope. No, they don't. Scratch that. Wrong team.
That's really weird.
Yep, that's not factual. I have nothing.
Okay. If you don't have anything on that game, you're probably not going to have anything on University of North Alabama against Southeast Missouri.
Favorite game
if you do, what'd you say?
That's my favorite game on the board.
Oh, no kidding. I'm seeing SEMO is a 7-point favorite. Over under is 56.5. I am not even going to act like I know what's going to happen in that game. So that's an FCS. Okay, ESPN FCS kickoff. So I guess those are two FCS schools. Yeah, I got nothing in that one. And then the last game, again, didn't even know these games existed. We got Florida A&M against Norfolk State. I can't even bet. Oh, I can't bet that because I used my bookie. But FAMU is a 13.5-point favorite. Over under, I believe that's the lowest of the day, 49.5. Whew. Yeah. So apologies. Did not know those three other games are going on. They didn't even pop up on my DraftKings, on my odds. So actually, that's a good plan. Probably can't even bet them on my bookie because they're not even gonna show up. But yeah.
This is one of my least reputable sources to see where the money's at, but according to the CBS Sports app, this line opened Florida A&M minus 21.5 down to minus 14, despite 94% of the public on Florida A&M. I have to imagine there's some sort of major thing that happened there, a quarterback injury or multiple different running back, top receiver, a couple linemen, something to that effect to drop that line that much. And I'm sure that opening line has been available for months. So I would maybe look a little bit deeper into that because it's not just coming down based on sharp money being on Norfolk State. I guarantee that. But something interesting to note.
Yeah, I found the tab on DraftKings to find these guys. It's the FCS tab. So in case anyone is wondering where the hell the games we're talking about, you can find bet them FCS tab on DraftKings, not even on the college football tab. And I can't even see the Norfolk State because I'm in Virginia. Yeah, I like the line movement, but again, yeah. What usually is our advice, and I'm already going to go against my advice, but that is just take it easy. It's week 0. There's literally one good game on. Don't go absolutely insane just because college football is back. Again, I'm going to do it because I love the sport too much and I'm an idiot and probably a slight addict or a major addict. Um, but just take it easy. There's one game. I have 2 bets in the one game. I think that's fine. If you want to have a couple bets in the Florida State game, because it is an ACC game, it is a ranked opponent. No one's going to blame me for betting that game. Now, if you're betting a McNeese State against Tarleton State, maybe you should call the number. Maybe I should call the number. So just take it slow. It's week 0. Ethan had some great advice of possibly getting involved in that Florida State Georgia Tech game live. I think that could be a great strategy for a majority of these games today, like the SMU game. If they do start out slow, possibly try to take that live over, or if Georgia Tech or if Florida State scores first a touchdown, maybe possibly jump on that Georgia Tech spread. It's week 0. No one really knows what to do. As good as Vegas is, Vegas's worst days are always the opening weekends of any sport. We see it all the time in the NFL. We see it all the time in college football, basketball, you name it. Also, as a bettor, it's a bad time to bet. It's just pretty much guesses. Vegas is throwing out lines. You'll probably laugh at these lines later. Later in the season, seeing, oh wow, Florida State was only a 10-point favorite to Georgia Tech, and Georgia State possibly goes 12-0 again, and they're like, well, at the end of the season they would probably be a 24-point favorite, but no one really knows. So my advice would just be take it slow, find 1 or 2 good bets that you really like, bet them, and then just save up. We got Thursday next week. We got 5 days away, or 4 days away, 5 days away from week 1 college football, which is going to be absolutely crazy. We have, I don't even know how many games, but they're starting on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I do believe we have a Sunday game next week, maybe not. But yeah, that's what I got. Do you have anything? Do you have any other games you want to talk about? Any other advice or sports or anything?
Yeah. Hang on, let me get back to the bar here. Yeah, I would say, yeah, just reiterate the live. I've had pretty good success live betting. Week 0, week 1, week 2, early college football. And I would even maybe go as far as say, if your unit's $100, and if you lean Georgia Tech like you and I both do, maybe throw 50 on Georgia Tech pre, save 50 for a live bet if it gets advantageous for you. If Georgia Tech comes out, scores right away, then boo-hoo, you only have a half unit on it. But Florida State comes out, gets up 7-0 early, you get Georgia Tech plus 14, put your other 50 on that. You're still risking that 1 unit, but now you have a really good number and then the number it closed at. So that could be a way to attack that. Yeah, I'd say just take it slow. A lot of football from now until February if you include the NFL. So
it's a great feeling.
Oh, it's so good. I love when you start seeing those posts. We have football every single day for the next 60 days or whatever when action starts. Oh, yeah. It's so great. Yeah, other than that, we do have a lot of other sports going on today. I don't know how involved I'll get. I'm kind of done with the NFL preseason. Why I know we talked about it a little bit before the show. You and I were head-to-head last night on the total in the Jags game. You got there, I did not, and it was just a frustrating loss. I think it probably deserved to be a push for me, a win for you, but just wasn't the case. So I do have some games I still do kind of like in preseason, but now I'm just timid. We talked about it in our preseason episode, but I love the Giants tonight. I think the Giants win. I might take them. I'm just so scarred. I'm not going to watch it if I do, because I got way too emotional last night watching that stupid preseason game. But I don't know. Did you have any preseason?
Yeah, I honestly completely forgot about preseason, but I know we were both, and it's pretty gross. I know we both like the Panthers. I'm seeing the Panthers are now a 4.5-point favorite. So, again, 4.5-point favorite or a minus 195 money line. I know minus 195 is pretty gross, but I would just take that money line. Great parlay leg too if you want to parlay that with something else today with the Panthers on the money line. Again, it's pretty gross. We've fallen for the Panthers too many times in last year's preseason, last year's regular season. They do get a lot of reverse line movement, and that's usually what happens with bad teams. That's why I always bet the freaking underdogs in baseball, which is why I was on the freaking Angels and the White Sox last night, just because the line movement. But do you like the Panthers today? I agree with you. I do like the Giants as well. Besides that, not a whole lot that I'm loving in the preseason. Again, Lions, Steelers. For us Michigan fans, state of Michigan fans, do you think the Steelers honestly get that game done? Yeah, nothing. And then I'm trying as much as I can to avoid baseball, unless I miraculously find some random money in some brokerage account. I'm not going to deposit anything. Yeah, nothing. Baseball doesn't even start till 2, and yeah, not that I'm going to bet in baseball probably, unless I see some crazy line movement. And if I do, I'll tweet it out. But it's been a rough week in baseball. It's been a fantastic last 3 weeks in the MLB. I've been hitting at a crazy clip with pretty much only betting underdogs, but have since kind of gone cold, down a unit pretty much each day this week. So add that up, that's 5 or 6 units down. Just been a frustrating sport for me. So sticking with college football, I might be adding possibly Panthers on the freaking money line, and I hate it, but we'll see. But yeah, my one last thing for the live bet in college football. I know you're a much bigger live better than I am, and my only piece of advice for live betting is, go in with a thought in your mind. So if you do want that Georgia Tech, go in with only betting it if it gets to this line. It will only bet, Georgia Tech. Say you got it opening like I did at 11.5. If it gets up, have a number in it. If it gets up to, if it's 14.5, it gets up to 17.5. Bet it. If it doesn't get there, and then if you like late in the game are like, oh, I can get them at 13.5. Just you don't need to blow it. The best part about live betting is you don't have to do it. Well, I guess you don't have to bet ever, but have a number in your head. If it never reaches that number, don't bet it. And that'll just be because I'm sometimes guilty of just staring at my phone, waiting for a certain number. And then if it's close enough, I'll lock it in. And then at the end of the game, you're like, wow, I probably should have been a little bit more strict on my rules there. So that would be my one advice on the live bets. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah,
Great live. Go ahead.
Yeah, could not be more spot on with that piece of advice. Yeah, it's to me that's how you have to do it live. You have to be confident with the number that you get, and the thing about it being live, it's moving constantly. So you don't want to lock in a 12.5 when you're really hoping for a 14, and then they throw a pick 6, and now you could get 16.5 a minute later. You have to be comfortable with that number. So yeah, that's a great piece of advice. I think that's how you have to do it. Get that number in your head. For me today, I'm probably not going to touch Georgia Tech unless it gets back to the 13.5 that it opened at. And yeah, if it never gets there, I'm not going to bet it. And you just let it go, move on to the next one. Like we just said, there's thousands of hours of football between now and February. So there's plenty of opportunities to get in, make some money. Doesn't have to be just because it's the first game of the year. But yeah, great advice on live betting.
Yeah, we'll be starting to go live a little bit more often, possibly starting to reintroduce our Monday lives. I know NFL has a week off here, but we do have, like I said, college football week 1 starting this week. So we could possibly be adding some our Monday lives, which is our normal schedule. Actually, that's probably a good idea to probably start reintroducing that. And then me and Ethan do a lot of sporadic lives before big events. So we do enjoy these Saturday mornings and sometimes Sunday morning lives before college football, before NFL also for the fantasy football lineups and stuff like that people have questions on who to start, who to bench for Sunday's live. So those are a little bit more sporadic. We will try to start getting our Monday lives up and running on a normal schedule, but yeah, first live back. I'm excited to sit down and do nothing for the next 15.5 hours. I think that Hawaii game should end around 3:30 a.m. So I'm pumped. I'm very excited. And thank you guys for watching. I know it was a little slow engagement today. It was our first live, but hopefully we can get back and up and running, and a little bit more viewers, a little bit more comments. And yeah, again, please like, subscribe, share. We really appreciate it. Go ahead, Ethan.
Yeah, one last thing. I know it's not very popular at all, but NASCAR is racing in Daytona tonight. One of, if not the best races of the year. 7:30, second to last race of the regular season. Really tough to bet, but Wyatt, if you have a free screen, or if anyone out there listening has a free screen, I know football is king and there's a lot of other sports going on. Maybe just throw it on, just wait for a wreck to happen, and then tune in when that's going on. It's a very entertaining race. Again, tough to bet. I probably will bet it. So if you're interested, follow me on Twitter. I'll tweet it out. But yeah, one of the more fun races of the year.
Yeah, you've been hitting. I've been following your NASCAR bets a little bit. Have yet to take one. Just like I've yet to take an UFC bet. Also doesn't help when I'm in piss and in units. But yeah, it seems like you normally go 2 out of 3. 50%, but they're usually plus money bets. So at the end of the day, it looks like you sometimes make. You usually, I don't think I've ever seen you have a losing slip there. Seems like you're usually always up a half unit or something like that. So again, I know nothing about NASCAR. I do know about Daytona. I went there for spring break. It is a white trash town that loves their left turn. So yeah, if you do like NASCAR, again, Ethan, I think, has a great track record betting that, as well as our MMA, UFC with Bobby and Ben. If that's what you're into as well, we do have college football out. NFL is going to be kicking back up. So full-blown sports content over here at Better and Green. So we appreciate you guys. Happy Saturday. Happy week 0. First game's up in an hour 27 here. Can't wait. Good luck on all your guys' bets, and we will see you possibly on Monday's live. But yeah, good luck, boys, and we will see you next time.
See you guys.